Yes, guys, so we have finally made it. We are finally back again for another reaction on this Mystelics reaction, guys. Welcome to each and every one of you guys who tune into another vibrations. I won't be dropping another BrBpTV video today, most likely tomorrow. But of course, guys, you can definitely check out the previous reaction today, guys. There's something very important that I want you guys to pay attention to, especially when it comes on to things that are happening in the world. Mystelics at least telling all you can do is just ignore me. But making sure that I let you guys know what is going on. Of course, this is a reaction. This is an individual from Trinidad and Tobago, and of course, he's definitely giving his views on the situation that is happening to the world right now, brothers and sisters. I'm gonna break it down. I usually break it down to you guys, but I just want to tell you guys, I appreciate you guys for definitely being a part of this here vibrations. Give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. Click the thumbs up button right down there, and of course, subscribe and turn on that post notification if you've not done so in that regard right there. Anyways, guys, if all I said right there, let's get into the vibrations for today right now. As you can pretty much read, the colonial deception of the EU-OACP agreement. Of course, the EU and the Caribbean, as well as a number of others as well, brothers and sisters. It's very vital that we know this information, and of course, I'm going to share it with you right there.
Today is a very special day in the world. It's a once-in-a-generation day. Today, 79 nations are meeting. The African, Caribbean, and Pacific nations are meeting.
Yeah. So
to sign
ACP, African, Caribbean, Pacific. We're all meeting. Seems like the whole world wants to divulge together to meet to do what?
Document.
To sign a document.
And it's an EU agreement with the African, Caribbean, and Pacific countries. And the document is written as a trade agreement and as agreement of support financially, etc., for the African, Caribbean, and Pacific nations.
It is a hell of a thing when people are trying to support Africa and the other nations, especially when they are taken from Africa to then say, oh, let us help you out. But without Africa, we know that the world would have crumbled already, brothers and sisters. The world would not have been the way that it is in terms of modernization and development. And in today, we know this. So when they want to take from Africa and then say, hey, let's help Africa, brothers and sisters, I think the African individuals need to wake up, as well as the Caribbean individuals who need to wake up. What is the deception?
Embedded in that agreement, and when it is signed, it is for 20 years. It cannot be revoked. When it embedded in that agreement is anyone who signs that agreement will have abortion legislation in their countries. They will have to impose abortion legislations, transgender, LGBTQ, comprehensive sex education. A whole range of values will be imposed because of the signing of the document.
Yep. Europe is still telling us what is good for us. Neo-colonialism, right, brothers and sisters. They want to tell us what is good for us. Oh, they're the first world countries, brothers and sisters, and they want to say what is good for you. You need to indoctrinate and put this in. Now, brothers, I must make mention of something. Apparently, in this time that we live in right now, there's another document. And that document pretty much is on the basis of, if you do not sign that document, it is automatic that you are part of it. Okay? So what the first world countries are trying to do is to bully the little ones, the younger countries, so to speak, into doing what they think is best for them and their people, and then saying what is best for you, brothers and sisters. That way your values, that way all those things, your morals and all those principles and all those things there. Forget that. We will tell you what to put, and in exchange, we will give you some monies on that. I will continue. Let's continue.
And what a wonderful day to have this reading. That leaders are not there for themselves. They are there
for the people,
for God.
And yeah, God, definitely.
And they don't represent their ideology.
They should represent God's ideology.
Their need to beg or their need to find whatever. They're there to represent what is right, what is true, what is noble, and what is beautiful. That's what leaders are there for. That's why they are elected.
not for them to push their own agendas. Now, brothers and sisters, I've learned certain things when I came in contact with a number of persons. So when I asked one of the individuals, are you going to become, a leader of your country and all those kind of things there, he says no, he doesn't want to become the leader of the country. He wants to be the one controlling the shots. So in other words, you have somebody put forward for the people to elect. They elect that person, and that person is then going to be putting monies and all those kind of things there towards that individual to do his bidding. That is what is happening, brothers and sisters. When you have people you think is supposed to be representing the people, they're representing their own interests, and their own interests can be turned against the people. For example, I've heard of different African governments selling themselves and their people out for a few $1 million and for a house on the hill. When foreign entities come to your country and say, hey, we'll give you this, we'll give you that, we'll give you this if you do this for us. If you do this for us, it's in detriment to our people, but you will benefit. You will become a millionaire, you will become this, you will become that, you'll have this, you'll have that. And when it's flashy, this is why you don't just have anybody who becomes your leader, brothers and sisters. You need to have people who are properly principled and have a level of sense of moral values, brothers and sisters, when it comes down to this situation. Because if you do not have this, then you're going to have greedy people doing things that is completely contrary and not to the people's benefit at all. I mean, when I look at Dominica, what exactly is Dominica's benefit now? Huh? What exactly is Dominica's benefit? We see they putting out stuff about golf and all those kind of something there. To which benefit is that? Is it a benefit to the people, or to the people who want to go and play golf and this kind of things there? Whose benefit is it? And brothers and sisters, I understand you might say it's AI generated, but I've heard these sentiments from Melissa. I've heard these sentiments from ministers of government. Take out a building golf course and this kind of things there, where it's mini or big or whatever it is. They've studied these things on the basis of who is beneficial. They want you to play, they don't want you to work. When you can work and become independent for you to play. Brothers and sisters, they want you to just bypass the working part. Come and play, we'll feed you. Brothers and sisters, there's always a price for freedom. Brothers and sisters, there's a price for freedom. Whether that price is your own ability to do things freely for yourself, and thus as a result making things happen for yourself, or depending on somebody else to give you things, and in exchange for what? Brothers and sisters, when you have ministers and different government officials who are in leadership positions, and they don't seem to be looking for things that is beneficial to the people but for themselves. Look at the luxury yachts and those kind of things there. Is that beneficial to the people? No. It is beneficial to the luxury people who have yachts and this kind of things there. What is it beneficial to the people? So when he's talking about the agreements between the EU and the Caribbean, African and Pacific, on the basis of who is the benefit, who is it benefiting? When the majority of people speak in a country, they are saying, no, that way what the majority, we want to put what we want on you. I remember when they what's her name again? That lady, that vice president, Kamala, went to Africa to push their nasty agenda. They said they're not having it. You know what they said? They said that we're going to defund you guys. We're not going to be taking your money. You know what they said? They say you need Africa more than we need you. So if you say you're not going to give us money, well, we'll see what's going to happen next. You pimping Africa. You taking their resources. Then you saying you're going to give them back money. If it's kind of like what is happening in Dominica, you know. You taking the people's money. You giving them houses and those kind of things there from the people's money. And then the people in their mind thinking, hey, I have to be loyal to that person. When it's their money they're using to keep. That's interesting, eh? How human beings, because it comes from somebody. Look at the root. I always tell people, look at the root of things. Anyways, guys, I'm talking too much. Let's continue right here.
And the terrible thing is that we don't have a culture of advocacy in Trinidad and Tobago with our leaders. We put them there and we think, okay, they run themselves for the 5 years, and then after the 5 years we decide to put them back or change them.
That's not how it should
we
be.
don't see democracy as an engagement with the leadership in an ongoing conversation
to do things
about
for us.
what is good, true, noble, and beautiful for the nation.
Yep.
And so we put them there, and well, it's their business. But if they sign this,
In trouble.
20 years, the nation is going to be in trouble.
Yes, brothers and sisters. That is what's happening. They're not looking at the people, even though the people might be against certain things. They're not looking at the people, they're looking at the leader. This is one of the reasons why I side with some of the African countries. They say it's not us. No, it's not us. It's the majority, and what the majority stands for. That's what we stand for. Because we are not here on our own accord. We're here to do the will of the people. If most leaders was like these guys, the kind of corruption that is taking place in the world would not exist. It would not exist. But you know what? They're looking to target the leaders. Scared like to say, he get his pride, he get gifts from his friends. In exchange for what? Nobody does give you a $250,000 vehicle. In exchange for what? And what detriment are you putting the people for you to make things happen for yourself? That is greed, brothers and sisters, and corruption in itself. So when EU want to pass their things and say, okay, we're going to target the leaders, even though they know the people are not for it, they could care less. If the leader signs this stuff, then automatically everybody signs the stuff. So they don't need to go and talk to the people. They just go for the leader. They go for the person that can call the shots. Here I can do things for you. I can make you a billionaire. I can make you make monies like crazy if you just do this for us. And if people with proper integrity are not in positions of office or in leadership, positions of leadership, brothers and sisters, then what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? This is why I'm making these things aware. YouTube might be even vexed I doing this video, but still, I rather take the risk to put it out.
20 years. For 20 years. Now, people think that we are in a post-colonial society.
Nope.
And I keep hearing the term and I keep asking myself, I don't know what they're talking about.
When other countries can dictate to you what to do, and they say, oh, we would not give you funding. If you don't push this, we would not give you funding. Brothers and sisters, why we claim to be independent? And on the basis of other people saying we would not give you funding, you then have to change your viewpoint to suit them because you want to get funding from them. What kind of independence is that?
Nothing more colonial than LBGT ideology. Nothing more colonial than that.
I just saw a picture. I don't know if it's joke they making or whatnot. Sometimes, friends, girls will be interesting. I saw a video of a girl asking another girl in Dominican Bayfront, asking her to marry her stuff. I don't know if it's a joke that there, but when I look at their faces, look like they wanted to laugh and whatnot. But at the same time, they were looking at this like they're serious or something. Then they kissed each other and whatnot. I don't know what kind of friendship that, but girls are girls. Girls always have an emotional thing, so that's always an interesting part. But the mere fact that we see this trying to happen, I don't know if it's a speculation. I myself not going to post that. It's not these things there. But the mere fact that is a part of that agenda right there, brothers and sisters. That is part of it. Try to make it as if it's acceptable. Once you're going against nature, brothers and sisters, it's one thing to go against God, but going against nature, it's another thing. Oh, help us, Abba Father.
Has a document that he has signed that every department of America interfacing with every other country must make this a mandate in any relationship between the states. The EU is imposing upon us ideology that is not ours.
Yeah. And some of the things that they tend to do when they put in these kind of what they call it now, when they put in these letters, not letters, no, when they put these arrangements and things together, what they tend to do, they tend to put their own things somewhere in between. They say they give you all the nice things. Oh, we'll build houses for you, blah blah blah, all those kind of things there. And then they have in a little corner, they say, well, you have to accept this anti-man behaviors and these things there on the side for us to give you that monies. Why they couldn't leave that all? We don't care about that. Leave that all. You want to do nice things for us, leave it all. But no, there's also an ulterior motive, brothers and sisters. Why are humans like this, man? Like I said before, they don't seem to go after the majority of people. They don't care about the majority of people, They go after the leaders, those who can make a difference and make a change and do things and put things and say, hey, when the leader signs and people wonder what's going on, they say, well, wait a while there, what's going on there? then the leader will say, well, it in the law. Look it in the law. We passed this. You guys should have read. But it seems like a number of persons don't seem to read. Because whatever is happening right now, brothers and sisters, if it's not signed by December, whether you're for or against it, if you don't sign it, that means you're for it. So we need to sign whatever document that is there and say we are against it. Because it's not to the benefit of the people. It's to the detriment of the people for whatever sick agenda that they're trying to push. Brothers and sisters, it's vital that we learn and understand. Some of us just think, oh, nothing going on. Oh, people never take care of it. You never know who is corrupt, brothers and sisters, especially when there's evidence of corruption happening. Let's continue.
And a value system that is not ours. And if we don't understand and wake up and smell the coffee quickly, we will find ourselves with values, with laws, with expectations, and with things being touted as rights that have nothing to do with us Caribbean people.
Yep.
Wake up and smell the coffee.
You want to do your crazy lifestyle and those kind of things there, go to the places that accept those things. Why then push out of the majority of people that don't want it? Huh? Help me understand, brothers and sisters. Right now, even schools, in the United States, they're trying to teach little 4, 5, 6-year-olds about anti-man behaviors and what they want to do, and putting what in what mouth and all kind of crazy. Brothers and sisters, there's books in schools where teachers are trying to teach little ones these things. You don't think there's some sort of agenda when the little ones are supposed to be out there playing and learning about social studies and geography and the things? They don't need to know this kind of nonsense there, but they're pushing it because they're trying to get them early to indoctrinate them so they can mess up their minds as young. Brothers and sisters, even when I was growing up, I knew all kinds of interesting things in society, but they're trying to even go younger than these things. And I talk about young, I talk about 11, 12, 10, 11, 12, this age there. But 4, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, really? And trying to and mess up. Oh, brothers and sisters, you have to be mindful that we do not allow these strange things to come in. It has started trying to come in, It's the good thing the teachers them don't push these agendas right there. But it's not started, it's already crept in already, brothers and sisters. This is why I must be mindful. This is why fathers must be mindful of their little ones, what the little ones are learning in school. This is one of the reasons why they don't like the family unit. And they encouraging single parenthood. The very society, when you look at the United States, the very society is pushing for it. Oh, I can have my young one or whatever. The government will take care of the little one with me. I don't need the father. Brothers and sisters, when the child grows up without the father, there's something happening upstairs that's not there. Because the father is the one that is a disciplinarian. And not just any man, there are some men that are not disciplinary. They should be in the sea. They should go to war. But those should be there. The men who have the disciplinary mindset in them should be the ones who help raise these little ones. And it's very true based off statistics that when single mothers put their little ones in a statistical disadvantage in every shape or form, a statistical disadvantage, but they're pushing these things. They're telling women to leave their husbands when they get education, this and that. 95% of the time they never get married and they end up staying alone. But they're pushing this agenda so they can mess up the next generation, brothers and sisters. Are we not awoken by these things to see what is going on? They're trying to push strange agendas towards the 2030. And they're not going for the people, they're going for the leaders. This is why we must elect leaders who bear responsibility, brothers and sisters, not just for themselves, because it's an act that you see for themselves, but also bear responsibility for others. I mean, it's evident when you look at things. I mean, it's very evident. But, people always worry. That's the thing, greed. When you have greedy people with greedy leaders, what do you expect? You expect difference, brothers and sisters? This is why then, if that's happening, you need to go to places that actually have, some level of concrete principle within themselves that will not be bamboozled by the nonsense that is going on across the world.
If they're far away, it's right here. Thank God, I understand that our government is not signing the document today. Thank God for that.
Jamaica also did not sign it.
Thank God for that.
But not, there's a different document they're talking about. The one I'm talking about there, that apparently has to be signed by December, needs to be signed, and it's to be on the sign where you are against it, not for it. Okay, they like to put nice things for you, and then the fine prints and all those kind of things have some additional stuff in there that will just mess up everything. This is why people must read the whole thing and not just pieces. But you know, people don't like to read; they like to read in parts. Oh, don't need to break it down, this and that. And then in the document, that's you should have read it. After you sign it, they tell you should have read it, brothers and sisters. Make sure that we are people who are thoroughly involved in reading documents before they are signed. And if it's not the reflection of the will of the people, it should be signed against. What he's saying there is for you to sign or not. But the one I'm talking about there is based off what you sign in. Whether you sign to accept or sign against it, then you must sign against it. And for this one, he's speaking about, dear brothers and sisters, we must not sign no document that is detrimental to the people. But the question here is, does our leaders care enough to listen to the voice of the people? But then again, the voice of the people, is it tainted or is it silent? That's a good question to ask.
That our government got wind of it, has seen and understood, and they're saying they don't have enough information to be able to sign today. Thank God for that. Jamaica came out clearly and said,
yep,
we are not for sale. But we are not for sale. Sorry. They came out up front publicly and said, we're not for sale.
Dominica should come and say with the same thing too. Or are we aligned with the one world order?
It's the rest of the small islands of the Caribbean that I worry about today.
Yep.
Because whoever signs that document will then have to
push the nasty agendas,
impose laws on their people
that the people never wanted in the first place. That is something else.
Not in keeping with the culture, values of us Caribbean people. And it will be a colonial imposition one more time on small, fragile states, on Africa, Pacific, and us here in the Caribbean.
People need to stand up and read. One of the things, there's a lot of secrecy happening, brothers and sisters. We need to, boy. And boy.
Now read, let me go back to what the scripture says. I talking about what the scripture says. Listen to what it says. If as administrators of their kingdoms you have not governed justly, nor observed the law, nor behaved as God would have you behave,
God will punish you.
Will fall on you swiftly and terribly. Ruthless judgment is reserved for the high and mighty. The lowly will be compassionately pardoned. The mighty will be mightily punished.
Yeah.
We can't keep our eye on the short-term benefit of a trade treaty promising us trinkets and glitter.
And the thing is, brothers and sisters, if you understand money itself has no real value. No, money has applied value. So if they're saying, okay, we want you to forget your principle that actually has value for you to obtain things that has applied value, brothers and sisters, what exactly are you trading for? You're trading real value for fake value, for applied value, where people can just print, and just give you print, and just give you out of thin air, print and give you, when you're just literally moving away from the actual principle and value that's the most value in itself. I mean, are we serious?
We have to keep our eyes on the long-term benefit of the kingdom of God.
Yep. And remember, brothers and sisters, the leaders that are there, when they set rules and all those kind of things, they're based on the majority of the people that is adherent to what? The Creator. Just like I mentioned, the Constitution was not written for man to abide by the Constitution, you know. The Constitution was written to remind leaders of what God already gave mankind. True freedom. We should not have people coming to impose things on us that we do not want. This is why people must read for the sake of their own selves getting things or favors or vehicles. Oh, my friends, give me this. Oh, Dominicans only need to wake up, boy.
In itself, and on what God has asked us and put into our hands, both to foster and to protect. The dignity of the human person is not for sale.
Nope, it's not.
It is not for sale. And we, today, I see today as a day of mourning. I am relieved that Trinidad is not signing just yet. But I am not relieved that 79 nations are coming together today with a document that will impose upon them conditions that many have not understood. The subclauses and the hidden agendas in those documents.
Sometimes you used to wonder about how that will never happen to us. This will never happen to us, brothers and sisters. These things can never happen to us. But you look at things from a underground level, the people would not side for this. You know, this can never happen to us. But they don't. They know. Like I said before, they no longer need to go for the people. They just need to go for the leaders who can then sign on behalf of the people. Whether the people are against it or for it, if you have a proper leader, the leader will do what the people want. But if the leader wants to get benefit for himself, what do you think is going to happen? You will sell out the people, just like certain places in Africa where they sell out the people. They sell out the people for exchange for them to get $1 million, $2 million and a house. Really? African Caribbean, let us not buy what they are selling again. We are not for sale. African Caribbean people, let us not buy. Our leaders need to hear these things, man. Let us not buy what they are selling, for we are not for sale. Okay, guys, I think I need to push this out there. Share this video as well so other people can see it as well. It's vital that we learn about this information right there, guys. Anyways, what are your thoughts, guys? Leave your thoughts in the comment box below, guys. And of course, with that said, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on that post notifications so you can get all the videos as they tend to come from. With that said, guys, I'll see you guys in the next one. Remember, guys, be real, be positive.